affordable place to live in the entire world is San Jose. You probably didn't realize it, or you probably knew it. You just wanted somebody to tell you that. But here you go. Congratulations. If you live in San Jose, you live in the least affordable place in the entire world, according to this article. And it's not just the house cost or the food cost, but gas and taxes. There's other cities like San Francisco, San Mateo, all these different little nuances are even more expensive, but they all fill into the conglomerate of what San Jose really offers. San Jose is part of Santa Clara County, as you know, and Santa Clara County is the highest volume home sales county in the Bay Area. I track 12 counties every Monday. As a matter of fact, LA, Long Beach, San Diego are all super duper expensive as well. Here it is. San Francisco comes in at 10th, but that's only because they lost a little bit of friction during COVID and people moved away from San Francisco. Now people are moving back. And you can see that in all the numbers. People are dying to go back to San Francisco. Not my cup of tea. Totally understand it. Not a fan of San Francisco, mostly because it's just, I don't know, it's not a place I understand. The most affordable places in America are Detroit, where you can pick up a house for $5,000, but Memphis, Baltimore, Oklahoma City, Kansas City, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Indianapolis, been to Milwaukee, been to Philadelphia, been to Kansas City. I don't know if I've been to Oklahoma City. I've been to Baltimore during that time where the guy and his son were sniping people. I've not been to Memphis, and I've only been to the airport in Detroit. Next, nearly 44% of U.S. homes for sale now carry HOA. Not a fan of HOAs, and I'll tell you why. Because there's no regulation on it, and every year your dues go up. And it's almost like an added tax. So you can have a nice area to live, but shouldn't that be the responsibility of the city? I understand having a gated community. However, if you're in a regular place, cities will force developers to create an HOA because of infrastructure. In California, you have to pay something called Melrose, or at least Northern California, you have to pay something called Melrose, which is an assessment on the property, $40,000 to $60,000, depending on the area, which helps pay for fire, ambulance, schools, and roads and infrastructure, the sewer, the water, the electricity, and the cable, and everything else. So yeah, you pay for it, and it's an offset tax that you pay as a homeowner that should have been normally paid for by a city and the city taxes and your water bill and your garbage bill and your sewage bill. But nope, you pay for it. In an HOA, the city's convinced the HOA and the developers to take on ongoing maintenance of those infrastructure services. If they need a new police station or a new fire station, or that one happened to burn down, you get an assessment. If the school burns down, you get an assessment. If your sewage drain fails, the HOA is responsible for it. If the electrical panels fail, the HOA pays for it. If your mailbox gets broken into, vandalized, destroyed, the HOA pays for it. And why do you care about that? Because if the HOA has to pay for it, eventually so will you as a resident, as an owner of that house inside that HOA, which is why I'm not a fan of HOAs. There's zero control, and they oftentimes have to have something called reserves in it, meaning that if any perilous thing happens, like major sewer work needs to be done, it's going to cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. The reserves are supposed to be filled with enough money in there that they take care of that, but oftentimes they don't. And this is me telling you as a buyer, sellers, you already live in an HOA. And granted, a lot of times HOAs are done nicely or run nicely, but it is what it is. I bought a house for my parents in Henderson, Nevada, and I know what I'm getting into. There's a lady that I know, she's a professional, and she does HOA audits. I highly suggest that if you sell your house, you disclose that, because it could screw up. And if your HOA is not run perfectly, I would have an audit done and delivered to your buyers to let them know what they're buying, because it's a pain in the ass. And if you're a buyer and they don't have an audit on the HOA documents that you're delivered, you don't know. I don't know. I'm a real estate guy. I'm not an HOA expert. I would pay $1,000 to have that HOA audited. So I know what I'm buying. Are the reserves intact? Are they doing everything right? Are there any politicking that we should be aware of? Everything. And it's important, because if you don't know that there's a $40,000 to $60,000 assessment that's coming your way, you need to adult up and know what you're getting into, right? It's kind of like buying a business. You need to know what you're getting into. So just be aware. There's no regulation, and there should be. And HOAs are hugely, notoriously difficult for us to work with. So much so that our title and escrow companies take care of getting the documents to us because they don't like us, because we're a bunch of pain in the asses, because we want to know what's going on. And when somebody gets affronted that you're digging into their information, that means that they're hiding something. Anyway, enough of that. If you're buying into an HOA, you better make sure there's been an audit done on it. Not an audit by one of their hired third party whatevers. There's a lady that does it specifically in the Bay Area. She does it all through California. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just be careful what you're buying. Okay, this is Cupertino House of the Week. $3 million, not my listing. 4-bedroom, 2-bath. 2,000 square feet, built in 1969, and it's a very short distance away from Apple headquarters. But let's take a look inside. Single story, nice, original floor. The kitchen was updated, it looks like, a while ago. Not modern, not brand new, but it looks like it's a fully functional, nice granite countertops. Nice, I like it. Like the stovetop's a little big for that island, but that's, whatever. If you're into cooking, that's awesome. All right, good. It's a nice looking house. Thank you for doing floor plans. Real quick, when you work with me, you get a floor plan and you get the little 360 thing and you get advertising. We put a buttload of advertising behind it and it goes to all of these sites. So just make sure you know what you're getting into. If your agent doesn't have a full, focused, explainable marketing plan, including advertising online, and shows you numbers, like let's take a look at this one right here. No, that's not it. This one right here, this is my listing. Tells you everything about it. Tells you all the medians, all the information about it, schools, etc. Right? And here's the best part. Floor plan, get the little drone thing, get the 360, and there's the 360 Matterport thing. Looking for this. Oh, that's just the front page of it. There. Shows you all the advertising that's done on it. You can see that I just started doing it, and boom, now we have customer views. We've had 56,000 views year to date, and the ad's been displayed 757 times year to date. See, if you don't know what they're talking about, or if your agent doesn't know what they're talking about, then go somewhere else. Okay, Willow Glen House of the Week. This is Glenwood Ave, 1.588, 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 1,500 square feet, built in 1933. Okay, nothing great about it. It's just older. It's almost 100 years old. Spanish revival, wallpaper. See, look, I'm not a fan of wallpaper, but this looks good because it fits into the decor of that era, right? It has yellow, probably iridescent or radioactive yellow, and some wallpaper, and it's not been updated or remodeled. Nice little basement for storage. There you go. And then luxury home of the week is Decatur Road. It's 10-bedroom, 8.5 bath, 15,000 square feet, built in 1994. This is brand spanking new in Los Gatos. This is the mansion in Los Gatos that everybody wants to look at. Beautiful house. And if you want to look at it, let me know. Love to go see it. I think this one's going to sell pretty quick because everybody loves Los Gatos. The numbers for this last week, not very super impressive, but they are impressive. Santa Clara County is almost at $700 million in closed sales volume. Crazy. The next highest is San Mateo at 414 and Alameda at 414, by like a third. Crazy, right? And then San Mateo values are going up and up on average sales price. This is year-to-date sales, average sales price, as well as median. And I want to point out Napa has a little bit of issue because they have $10 million in average sales price, 318% over list price. So that will change because I went out and found it, and it's just a decimal point mistake from the agent. I called her, left her a message, texted her, let her know